Well, hello, welcome. And I hope everyone's having a good evening. One of the fun things we're going to talk about tonight is movies. One of my favorite things to do is go to the movie theater. And Susan is in here, and Julie is in here. Good afternoon. I guess it's good evening. I mean, it's 5 o'clock here, Pacific time, because we don't change. You guys across the country, it just goes going forward. But one of my favorite things to do is go to the movie theaters. And so I thought, I wonder what good movies people have seen so far this season. And Angie is in, and Carol is here. Hello, awesome. And I appreciate you guys coming in. So I thought tonight, why not talk about some fun movies that are just happening? Julie says, I've gotten super picky about what movie I see since the theaters reopened. Haven't gone yet this year. And Mary Brandt is here. Mary, how are you? I hope you're feeling better, that you're doing good. And Beth is here. Hello, Beth. And ever since I was little, I remember when I was little and it cost 35 cents to go to the movie theaters. Oh, Joe's walking in, so the dog's barking like he doesn't know who he is. Of course he knows who he is. Oh, and my neighbor Cyril, Louise's husband, is over here. I don't know what they're doing. Hanging out. And Ann is here. Ann Della Homestead. How are you, Ann? Don't forget tomorrow morning. Ann always has a live on Tuesday mornings, so make sure you check her out. We've only actually gone to one movie so far this year. And Susan talked about it in the chat earlier that they don't usually go to movies, but they went to Jesus Revolution. Very interesting movie. Julie remembers when she was young and it was $3.50. See, I remember when it was 35 cents. And we would get a ride down, and most of the time we went to the Elks Theater. It's the oldest theater in Rapid City, and has a balcony. And oh my gosh, we just thought it was fabulous. You got soda, you got some popcorn. Now, when I'm at the movies and I'm eating popcorn, and sometimes I do it here even, is oh hi Ann, how are ya? Is that I like hot tamales with popcorn. I know it sounds weird, but it's not really much different when you're eating it than if you were eating like a cinnamon popcorn ball. You know, at Christmas time, a lot of times when we were growing up, my mom and my grandma would make popcorn balls, and they have different flavors. And one of the flavors that they would have was cinnamon. And so when I have popcorn at the movie theaters now, I like having hot tamales in there, because then when you're chewing them at the same time, it's like a popcorn ball. So it's just one of those things I like to do. And Greg is back. They're back from Texas. I saw the picture of Debbie with her dad, and it must have been siblings and maybe a niece. I'm not really sure. Very cute. And I haven't been to the theater since Transformers 3, 2011. Oh, and you're so missing out. There's just, I mean, I can watch movies, and sometimes we wait for them to come on so we can watch them on TV, right? Because it can be expensive. By the time you buy popcorn and something to drink, if you have hot tamales, it adds up fast. It seriously adds up. And so we pick and choose which ones we go to at the movie theater. But there are some interesting ones coming out this year. And great-granddaughter. Okay. I wasn't sure who else was in the picture. And so awesome. And it's so fun when you can have all kinds of generational pictures, with people. I love it. Seriously, I love it. But there are some fun movies coming out. Even though Angie hasn't been to a movie since 2011, she says. And Ann says she's like Angie. Haven't been forever, at least 10 years. Ann says the other Ann, Little French and Big Texas is Ann, and Andale's homestead is Ann. It's definitely an investment now, but I guess it's not bad for a night out. I mean, like if people go out to dinner and if they have drinks, you're spending a lot of money. So me going to the movie theater, especially we usually go to a matinee because it's cheaper getting in. And at our movie theater here, once you've bought one cup, one of their plastic crazy designed cups, every time you want a drink, water, soda, whatever, it's only $2 as long as you bring that cup. And it's a great big one. I think it cost us $7 to buy it the very first time. And then after that, it's only $2. So that's kind of nice. Our movie theater back home sells tubs at the beginning of the year. And you buy that tub, and then every time you go and get popcorn, it only costs you, it's either $1 or $2. It's not very much. But it's a great way for them to get people coming back. And Nancy is here. Hi, Nancy. Diane is here. Hey, I made Monday Night Live again. Woohoo! Hi, everybody, she says. And so we're talking about movies. Now, there's some fun ones coming out. Now, there's always scary movies. And though I know some people in the chat love the scary movies, I don't like the scary movies. I like interesting, they could be thrillers as long as they're not, stabbing, gross ones. I don't like those. Hey, Liam, how are you? Liam, write channel instead of comment, and it will pop up. We get the Elks Theater popcorn here all the time. See, the Elks Theater popcorn? Oh my gosh, it's like amazing. Aaron wanted to go see Scream 6 this weekend, but I can't eat popcorn right now, so I said no. Well, and you could always go not eat popcorn, But I wrote down, oh, look at that. Green screen makes it invisible. Speaking of background, this is actually a photo I took out at Meatree Lake this weekend, and then I manipulated it and made it into this because I'm going to paint that. And so Angie says, no, she's not doing it. Susan says, I like that to buy. I think she's saying, I like that I can buy a tub of popcorn. I'm sure that it's very popular. It is very popular. It's really, I think it just is that thing. You go into the movie theater, you're going to have popcorn. Diane says, Jesus Revolution was worth the cost of the movie theater. Very well done. I thought it was great. I listened to, I don't know if I want to give you all the details of the movie. It's set in the 70s, hippie era, all this turmoil with the war and all this stuff that's happening. And it's based on a true story. That's what I'm going to tell you. It's based on a true story, and it's very cool. Love the movie Otto with Tom Hanks. And I think that is actually called A Man Called Otto. And I haven't seen it yet. I've watched the previews to it. It looks really interesting. Tom Hanks plays a guy, a neighbor. He's lost his wife. He's kind of grumpy. And this family moves next door to him. And I think it just changes everything. So that's kind of fun. Movies are too long these days for popcorn and a drink. Well, some movies are very long. And Barb is here. And Craig, Barbara, I hope you're having a good day. Craig says, buy the tubs here, and then Thursday is free popcorn. See, it's a good deal. So I wrote some movies down that I would like to see this year. Now, there's silly ones that are based on true stories. There was, I think it was in Georgia, a drug plane. Somehow the bundle of cocaine fell out of the plane, or maybe they were dropping it, but a bear got it. And it's this mayhem of this bear. And I'm not really sure I would go to the movie theaters for that, but I guess it's supposed to be really funny and silly. I'm sure they took a lot of liberties in the movie, but interesting. Barb says, now I want popcorn. Yes, it's called Cocaine Bear. And that's right, Ange. It's based on a true story. And it's supposed to be mayhem, but silly mayhem. And so I probably wouldn't watch it on the movie theaters, but I would like to watch it. Debbie's here. Hey, how are ya? And Teresa's here. Everyone, I can't stay, but wanted to stop in and say hey and hope everyone has a blessed week. 143. That's right, 143. I love you. And I am glad that you found peppermint. I was going to send her a peppermint plant, but she found seeds this weekend. And so that is awesome. Okay. Now, my first movie that I would like to see this year, it's out of Ireland. And so some of the dialect is not in English. Some of it you have to read because they're speaking Irish. And it's called The Quiet Girl. And she, her parents, who kind of neglect her, send her off to relatives that have never had children on a farm out in, outside the city. And it's all about the things that transpire and how not only the couple, but the girl open up. And the previews are really interesting. And I don't mind reading subtitles on a good movie. And so I thought, yeah, that I would like to see. That I would do. Debbie says she's doing good. I'm so glad to see you. You have been my thoughts and prayers. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I have been planting more seeds like crazy and emptying out our house for the move. Debbie, what is the move date that you guys are thinking? Riggs Abroad. Hello, how are ya? And Ann says, but sure to hit the like. Be sure to hit the like button. Thank you so much. That always helps with analytics. So I just always appreciate it. But at least watch the trailer for The Quiet Girl and see what you think. So that is something I thought I would watch. That I would actually pay to go watch at the movie theater. There's some of them on my list that I'd like to watch, but I don't want to pay for it. So I'll wait till it comes out on one of Netflix or something so that I can watch it. But in December this year, if you are a fan of this movie, there is a brand new Wonka. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, a brand new one. And it looks awesome. Now, I have always loved Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but it actually even goes back to when he meets the Oompa Loompas. And the guy that's playing it actually looks perfect to play it. And so I'm excited about that. Oh my goodness, Sandy, your channel subscribers are increasing. They are increasing. I'm so excited. We are still not sure on the move date. We just finished renovations on the house. Next is pictures and listing it. Oh, I bet you sell that house so fast. Seriously. It would be amazing to live there. And Charmaine is here. Hello, Charmaine. Julie says, the Gene Wilder one scared me when I was a toddler. Not into it. I was older when I saw Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with Gene Wilder. I love it, actually. But I could see when you were little that certain parts could be a little scary. And then they had a newer version, but December 15th, it's just called Wonka, and that comes out. And so I am totally, you aren't wrong. He does look the part. He looks perfect for Wonka. When I saw it, I thought, because I watched a little clip thing, not of the movie itself, but how they picked him and who was up for it also. And I thought, oh no, he was the one to pick. And I just, according to the regulations, once we choose our agent, we cannot talk about actually listing the house to anyone. Who knew that it was a stupid thing? That's true. That has been like that for a long time, that you can't sell it if you've already signed with an agent. Until that contract is up, you can't sell it to somebody else. That agent is going to get their money. Giant blueberry nightmares. Oh no. Oh, Charmaine got my necklace last week, but I forgot to say thank you. I'm glad you got it. I'd given 3 necklaces away one night. Okay, so Wonka's on my list for next Christmas. The Quiet Girl is on my list. Now, the other one that comes out this May. Now, this is a kid's movie, but I love kids' movies. And it's The Little Mermaid. You know, they had The Little Mermaid. It was famous. It was a cartoon. Well, this is animated, but not a cartoon. I mean, you know how they do that? But it looked spectacular. And that comes out in May. So I'll be able to watch that when I'm back in Wyoming, because we will leave next month back to Wyoming. And so that is interesting. Now, there is a movie, and I watched it. Actually, it's the second time I watched it. So, if I watch it more than once, I really like it. And it actually came out last year, I believe. And it's called Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. And it is a spectacular movie. So, and it's something you can watch. I think I watched it on, it must have been Amazon that I watched it on Prime. And so free if you have Prime. Very interesting. Debbie says, I've been telling stories about the history of the house on Facebook group, and I want to do a walkthrough in length video. Oh, that's a good idea, with stories that I post on my YouTube. Love Willy Wonka. Awesome. It's like the CGI live action way Disney can renew its copyright. It looks really good. It has the same kind of songs in it. In the trailer, it's singing one of the famous songs in The Little Mermaid. But I think it'll be really good. I think it should be interesting. Now, there's a movie out right now, and it's called A Good Person. Morgan Freeman is the most famous actor that's in the movie. And there's a car accident. Somebody dies. The girl that was going to be Morgan Freeman's daughter-in-law, things happen, and it's just, it's just one of those movies. I think it will be a heartbreak. It will be hard to watch in parts of it, but I think a good movie. The things that we go through because of life, and I think it should be a good movie. Debbie says, your hair is getting long again. It is. It's all twisted up back here. It grows fast. It does grow fast. I was working with dyeing marjan today. Oh, dyeing herbs. And you know what? I was wondering if anyone has made soap with it. Smells like spicy soap to me. So anybody in the chat, have you made soap and added marjan into it? That's probably not how you pronounce it, but that's just how I've always pronounced it. I love adding herbs into soaps and tinctures and all kinds of stuff, teas. It's interesting. Now, there is another movie that might be interesting. I'm not sure if I'm willing to pay for it. It's called Plane, and plane crashes. It's in the jungle. I would assume, I didn't watch the whole trailer. I would assume it's like South America jungle. And how they try to escape out of the jungle when there's guerrilla warfare and stuff like that. I think Joe would like that movie. And so sometimes when we go to movies, it's because it's something Joe would really like. Sometimes we go to the movies because I want to go to the movies because it's something I would like to do. So, but there's some other ones that are out. Oh, there's another one based on a true story that could be interesting. I'm not sure I'd pay for it, but it could be interesting to watch in a few months when it's on like Netflix. And it's called Air. It's about Nike when they signed Michael Jordan to their shoes, and the trailer looked pretty good. So it's a movie I would be interested in, but not probably to pay for it. Though I think there would be a lot of people that would. Charmaine, you are so sweet. I don't even know what to say. Thank you very much. Debbie says, I wanted to go see Aviator, The Way of Water so much, but I never got to it. I will be having to wait for it on Disney Plus or something. Yeah, you know how it used to be when there was movies, and then you had to, helpful with shipping. You're so kind. Thank you. You had to wait like a year before it would come out at the movie theaters. Now there's options. Some movies you can watch while it's at the movie theaters, like on Prime, they'll have early access and you pay, sometimes it's $6 or $5.99. Sometimes it's $9.99. Sometimes it's $14.99. But theoretically, that's cheaper than going to the movies, and you can make your own popcorn. And you could buy your own hot tamales to put in there. So those are options that we never had. And then anymore, at 3 or 4 months, it's on something, Netflix or Hulu or Prime, one of those stations. And so that's kind of interesting. There is a movie that I believe you would love. It was the very first movie I went to see in the early 80s, Emerald Forest. My aunt took me and pretended I was 13. It was PG-13. I will look that up. Interesting. Now, there's a series I'm watching right now, which sometimes Joe and I will turn on the series and we watch like the first 15 minutes and like, no, we're not watching that. But it's called The Tunnel, and it's about the tunnel between France and England, and there was a murder right on the line. And so that's how it connected the two different police forces. And it has three seasons now, so there's other things that they do later on. But interesting. Some of it is subtitled. Sometimes they're speaking French, and sometimes the French people are speaking English, but sometimes you have to read. And I never mind that in a movie, if it's a good movie or a good series. Tina Ladybug. Hi, girl. How are ya? So in the chat, tell me your favorite all-time movie or your favorite all-time series to watch. Oh, see, Anne's watched it. I'm going to look that up. I have not heard of that. And Bunky is here. Bunky girl. Now, Bunky and her sisters have a live. I would guess it starts in 36 minutes. So make sure you pop over to the Vineyard Chicks to watch their live. And so type, what's your favorite? I have to tell you, probably my favorite all-time ever series is called Mr. Sunshine. It's out of Korea. The cinematography is so amazing. Now, if you haven't ever watched Korean movies or Korean love stories or series, it is much different than an American one. Like, it always takes a long time between the two people that will eventually get together. There's always that part that it's very slow, but it's really good that they don't come together so fast. Where an American movie, bam, You know, they bonk their heads, they're in love. And 2 hours later, they're in love. But this is, Korean movies are different. And it's really, really interesting. Now, Anne says, series, Downton Abbey. I love Downton Abbey. And she must have said, oh, Field of Dreams. That was good too. The Shack. That was a good movie too. Tina says, Little House on the Prairie. I was just talking about Little House on the Prairie this morning. That is so funny because I had breakfast this morning at the clubhouse. It was my turn to have breakfast. Well, one of the gals brought in, it must have been like a pumpkin cake. It had layers of frosting. She just had it extra, so we cut it up. And then she brought this huge apple pie in. And I was telling the girls that when I read the book about Laura Ingalls Wilder, about her true life, during certain seasons, Almanzo, who was her husband, his parents, his mom, every morning they had apple pie with all the other stuff for breakfast, because apples would, they only store a certain amount of time. And so they obviously had apple trees. And so during those seasons for breakfast, they also had apple pie. And so that's funny that you talked about Little House on the Prairie today. I blame my father for my love of horror. They were watching American Werewolf in London. Us kids were supposed to be in bed. This girl was not. He probably doesn't know that or remember that. That is funny. Yeah, just blame it on the dad. What do you think about that, Craig? Do you think that's true? But there was a lot of really good movies and series. But there's some certain ones that just like stick in your head, and it's like, oh yeah, this is one of my all-time favorites. I could watch this repeatedly. Now, like Mr. Sunshine, it is a Korean movie. You have to read the subtitles all the time. But eventually, once you get used to that, it just becomes part of the movie, and your brain can see those subtitles, and it's not like you're reading it anymore. It's just fabulous. If you live anywhere near Asheville, North Carolina, there's a beautiful little theater there that serves food and beverages. I think it's Asheville's Fine Arts Theater. They play Bollywood movies there. I have watched some Bollywood movies, and some of them are good. I think sometimes we miss out if we never watch foreign films. There's some really exceptional foreign films. Korean romance dramas are so sweet. They are. They're very innocent, and they're you get to know the characters really deeply, and it's interesting. Bunky has Laura's dress. Little House on the Prairie. I have Laura's dress. That is so sweet, Bunky. Hi, Roy. How are ya? I like HBO series Spat. I don't know. I haven't seen that. I don't know what that is. Oh, Spartacus. I have seen Spartacus. I do like that. Probably my favorite kinds of movies are English, or if it's from Ireland, Scotland, Wales, anything like that. I love those movies. Joe rolls his eyes and he's going, oh my gosh, an English movie. But I roll my eyes when he wants to watch another World War II movie. So we just have to take turns, I blame my mama for the fear of horror. Bunky wants to know, has anybody seen Scorpion? It's a show about geniuses. Oh, I have not seen that. I will look that up. Interesting. Oh, the old one, Spartacus with Kirk Douglas. I remember that movie. That was good. There's a lot of actually that era of movies, with the gladiators and stuff. Those are interesting movies because Joe really likes those. But I don't mind watching those at all, There's always storylines and conflict, If it's too easy for me to figure out, though, like if it's a mystery or a police mystery or whodunit mystery, something like that, if it's too easy to figure it out, it's like, I'm disappointed. No, the HBO one is not the Kirk Douglas one. That was a good old movie. It was. Another good movie for you, Sandy. It's in English, so you don't have to struggle with subtitles. I actually don't struggle with subtitles. I like it. Kama Sutra, A Tale of Love. It's about two little girls growing up in a royal surroundings. Interesting. Did you ever see Where the Crawdads Sing? Joe and I went to the movie theaters for that because it looked so good. And there's a book called that. And my son happened to be reading, Stephen, one of our boys, was reading that book. And he says, you got to, he says it's probably not as good as the book, but Crawdads Sing, Where the Crawdads Sing, it is amazing. I really liked it. And so, a lot of times people say there's no good movies anymore, but really there are some really good movies. Tell Joe to watch War Horse. He'll love it. We have seen that. And that is interesting. And that's based on some true stories about the war and the horses. And it was a tearjerker. And you do need that. Favorite movies, English Patient, Always Rent, yes. Jesus Christ Superstar. Oh man, I could go on all night. That's right, there is a lot of them. I remember I was in junior high and Jesus Christ Superstar came out and we went to the movie theaters and I fell in love with it. I could literally today, I could sing you songs from Jesus Christ Superstar. It must have made an impact. So the HBO series of Spartacus, I saw that. I think we had HBO for a while, and it's a good movie, good series. Well, look who's here. It's Doug, Commander Bacon. Hello, how are you? They had a live last night. I was driving and I'm thinking, oh, Doug and Shelly are on live. So I'm at one stop sign. I turn it on. And I say hi, and then I'm driving, and then I stop at another stop sign, driving, and then when I got home, and then I watched the last of their live. So they always have it Sunday night, and so I hate it when I miss it, but sometimes we're gone or doing something, busy down in Arizona. Jesus Christ Superstar music is epic. Yeah, some of the songs are running through my brain right now. It's awesome. Everybody's saying hi to Doug, the Doug man, the Commander Bacon in the flesh. The music is great, and I like the transformation new to history and back, and it is interesting. I'm just scrolling down. See, lots of people have seen it. Oh, Anne was in a live musical in college. And tomorrow morning, will you sing for us? Will you sing on your live? I made a radio contact with someone from Arizona. Now, Doug has been doing ham radio. And he hasn't talked to anybody in Wyoming yet, but around it. But now he's talked to somebody in Arizona. That is so awesome. Yes, the black version of Little Mermaid, and it comes in May. I am excited about it. Diane is also songs going through my brain. It's funny how our brain works, that we might not remember a lot of things, but when you hear a song or somebody tells you about a movie it's a musical, so you have all these songs, all of a sudden it is running through your brain, and you may not have seen that for 30 years. And all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I know the words to that song. Oh no, Doug, 16 degrees this morning when I left for work and 52 when I came home. Well, I like the 52, but I would not like the 16 degrees, Doug. Though it is cold up, it's cold back home. You know, it has been chilly so many days. And in fact, my brother-in-law who lives in North Dakota, it was like a week and a half ago, and he was in the negatives with the wind chill again. It was like 26 below with the wind chill factor. What is up with that? It's March. I mean, it can have snow, but it shouldn't be this cold anymore. Diversity of love. Good evening. Hello. Welcome. And Anne says she really enjoyed that play. So, when you have your live tomorrow, we're going to be expecting a song. Have you started your seeds to bring back to Wyoming with you? Certain things I have started. I have a limited amount of space in the truck. And so it is, it's a predicament. But the thing is that, we'll be back in April. And there's still time to start seeds. Our last frost date is anywhere from May 15th to May 30th. Some things I will buy seedlings because I can plant out my brassicas, my cabbage, broccolis, cauliflowers early. And I can just cover them. Or I could just set them in the greenhouse and plant later. So I have things growing in trays already. I have things in pots. I had that extra garlic that was late getting delivered to me. So they shipped it down here instead. So that was in the freezer, or not the freezer, the refrigerator and the crisper in the brown bags all winter. And so then I planted it in cells to take back, and all of it except for all the different kinds have come up, except for only a couple of the Russian Reds. And Russian Reds I have grown multiple times. And so I'm a little concerned that they're not coming up, which maybe they're just going to take longer. I still got time. Oh, Ange says it was -7 with the wind chill this morning. That's cold. Cold, cold, cold. And Bunky says it was 24 last night with the feel of 13, windy. It's supposed to be windy here tomorrow, but we're still 70s and 80s every day, and I cannot complain. I seriously cannot. I mean, there are people that are complaining, should have been warmer. And it was a cool winter for us in Arizona, surprisingly. Diane says she loves watching older movies to see fashions and decor from the ages ago. It is fun to try to figure out where microphones were placed in movies from the 1930s. Oh, see, now I'm going to have to look for that. I never even thought about that. I just assumed that they were hanging up above. But that might not be true in the 30s. Interesting. I'm going to have to look for that. I did not get my garlic in the ground this fall, so I'm not going to be able to get garlic growing this season. Good thing, I guess, considering you're moving. You are moving, but you could always plant soft neck garlic when you get moved. The summer would be long enough. I just happen to like hardneck garlic. I like the flavors, and I like how it stores, things like that. But seriously, you could plant some. You can actually, if you have hardneck garlic, you can plant it in the ground. You just may not get big bulbs until the next year. So there's options there. Angie says, tell a story of my life here. Yeah, Angie always calls North Dakota Southern Canada, which I find very funny. She does not find it as funny as I do, but, Oh, favorite TV series ever, Grizzly Adams. Oh, I loved Grizzly Adams movies. Very fun. I actually know the man that created the songs for it. How fun is that? They hid them in coats, in plants. You can tell when the voices fade if the actor turns away. I love old black and white movies. I'm going to watch some just to check that out. That is so interesting. well, one last thing before I go. Okay, I got to go over here. I'm going to show you this. These are my seed packets. This is my popcorn plant that I've showed. I did a short that showed it. Now, the thing about popcorn plant is acacia popcorn plant. It can grow anywhere from 3 feet tall to 8 feet tall. If you prune it out of being a bush into a tree, it can grow actually 25 feet tall. And in zones 9, 10, and 11, it can live for 10 years. So my plant out there, which is about 8 feet tall, I should have for about 10 years. But some of the seeds will fall. It'll reseed itself anyway. But I package these up. This is my little shop on Shopify. And this is my first thing to put on it. You can grow these any place in the country. They will not be a perennial any place in the country. But you can start them inside. You can plant them right in the ground. And most of the time, when it's just growing for that season of the summer, they get about 3 or 4 feet tall. And so I just thought, if you're interested in acacia popcorn plant, I have some seeds for sale. But I'm going to give these ones away. That's right. I'm going to give them away because I can. When you're coming to visit, I think I might try to twist Joe's arm when we come home. Just go the long way around. So I will let you know. Lemon seeds, please. I can send you some lemon seeds. I have little teeny lemon plants growing in a tray out there. And so I can do that. Can I get some popcorn? Yes, of course you can, Ange. I'm going to give this away. So I am going to type a little code. And you do have to live in the continental United States. So let's see who is the winner of this. And I will mail this out tomorrow to you. They're a beautiful plant. They're called popcorn plants because the leaves and the flowers, if you rub your hands along there, your hands will smell like hot buttered popcorn. And so I thought, since we were talking about the movies, I should give a package of seeds away. And the winner is Charmaine. So Charmaine, I will mail these out to you tomorrow. And it is a beautiful plant. And it will make seed pods that you can save and you can give to your friends. You want to just make sure the seed pods are completely dry when you take them off the plant. Otherwise, the seeds can be immature and they may not start for you. They might as they dry, but they may not because you took them off the plant. They are toxic to people, so don't eat any of the plant, even though it smells like popcorn. And they're toxic to dogs. But my dogs never liked the plant at all. So I will mail that to you. And I guess I better go because I am 13 minutes later than normal. I haven't fixed Joe's supper yet. I am finishing up my apple scions and grafting. So I hope everybody has a great night. Charmaine, congratulations again on the packet of seeds. And I will see you guys next time and see you in the videos. So everybody have a good night. 1, 4, 3. Because I love you.